don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome to this 298th episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Of course, producer Kate is at the controls talking to her dad, making sure everything runs smoothly, pushing the buttons, and doing what needs to be done. You guys are all here in the comments. Hopefully, we will have a pouring in of others after a bit, because I think there will be some more people coming in to hopefully hear from Rainwater. So for those of you that did not watch last night, or you haven't got the message today in our completely insane social media blast, we will be having Rainwater on in this episode tonight to give his thoughts and his rebuttal to the debate, which just occurred live from a studio, Nexstar Media Group studio in Indianapolis. Nexstar Media Group is a company out of Texas, mind you, and they feel like they have this arbitrary set of criteria that you've got to do this or that. It doesn't matter that he is a legitimate candidate who will appear on the ballot in all 92 counties across Indiana. It does not matter that in the 2020 debates, he was in all debates. It does not matter in the 2020 elections that he had a pretty good standing, and while he did not win, he did well for a third-party candidate. They just simply said, no, we are going to give you, Hoosier voters, 2/3 of the candidates running for this race, which is totally insane. It's the 2/3 gubernatorial debate. That's what I called it. We live streamed the debate here from 7 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern. My first thoughts on the debate, just right out of the gate, was, did they all sit down and like rail a couple lines of coke or meth beforehand? Because, man, they were just firing through it. Bam, 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 bam. There was at one point that I thought, dude, these people are speaking and their words aren't even making sense. It's all just going so fast. This debate was not designed, honestly, for the Hoosier voters. Honestly, this was designed to meet some kind of a goal, a quota for some kind of advertisement deal or something they had going on, because this debate, the first gubernatorial debate in this general election here in the state of Indiana, was just, it was very it was very I don't know. I just was not happy with the quality of the debate, and of course, it lacked being a complete debate. There was one whole candidate that was not there. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. Rainwater is going to be joining us in just a few moments. He called me right before we went live, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to be just a few minutes. I'm going to be just a few minutes late, and so please don't bash me." And I was like, no, Rainwater, you can be as late as you want to be, and we will be here. So please bear with us. I do want to ask you to please consider, while we are waiting for Rainwater to jump on, I would like to ask you to go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so. Click the bell. Do all of those things. That would be fantastic. If you like what we do what you need to do. You know what it is, and we can get on with the show. Happy to hear that we have viewers that are changing their votes from Braun to Rainwater. That's something that I would hope that a lot of people would do. There was a tweet that the Braun campaign put out a little bit ago. They actually, while they were on stage, amazing. You've got Braun on stage, and he's tweeting. His campaign is tweeting. McCormick. I'm doing the same thing Kate was doing last night. McCormick was on stage, and her campaign is tweeting, but it wasn't like fact checking each other. They were posting just completely erroneous, nonsensical bullcrap stuff. It was just very strange. Mike Braun posted an hour ago, "The best way to know what Hoosiers want is to visit them on their doorsteps. Mike Braun has traveled all 92 counties every year for the last 6 years." And I reshared that tweet, and I said, I wonder how disappointed the Braun campaign is when they get to the door, they knock, and then they learn that what Hoosiers want is Rainwater. Like, how disappointing is that to Braun and to his campaign? I think, Rainwater appeared with Kindle today. And, we've been going back and forth, and there's been a lot of talk, whether he should do it, whether he shouldn't do it. How dare Kindle do what he's doing? Look, at the end of the day, this is what I'm going to say about this. I've been friends with Rob for quite some time. We've appeared on the show. I'm sure I will appear on the show in the future. I'm not happy with what Rob has done here. I will equate it to, your favorite punk band selling out, some band that only you and 35 of your best, coolest friends know about, no one else knows, and then they hit the big time and everybody knows them, and then they're no longer, it's like, that's what Kindle's done. Kindle sold out. And it is what it is. I will say this. Don is a big boy. Don is capable of handling himself. I don't think that Don did not go on there today to debate Kindle. Kindle is not a candidate. Kindle does not speak for Braun. In my opinion, he doesn't speak for Micah. If he even has some kind of belief in his mind that he does speak for Micah or Braun, they will quickly set him straight once something doesn't go the way that they think it should or he thinks it should. They will let him know, and then he will be right back where he should be. Interestingly enough, Rainwater was on the show today, and Kindle was actually talking to Jim Merritt. And I got to say, I'm not a fan of Jim. I am not a fan of Jim Merritt at all. Okay. I just don't like Jim for various reasons. That's got nothing to do with the show tonight. Kindle was talking to Jim Merritt, and he said, I think I probably messed up. I probably should have just endorsed Rainwater. And they were talking about the whole debacle of the House Bill 1133 and the AI, the AI generated picture of McCormick. And I'm like, I agree with Rob. For whatever reason, Braun just continues to make mistake after mistake after mistake. And folks, he posted a little bit ago, or someone posted on Twitter a picture that said that he was the debate winner. Let me be very clear. Braun did not win the debate tonight. The debate tonight was a shit show. It was not a good debate. The two-thirds debate, first of all, it's like getting in a car and thinking that you're going to drive someplace with 3 tires. If you don't have all 4 tires, it's not a functioning car. If you don't have all 3 candidates that are on the ballot, it's not a normal, actual, full, complete debate. So it is broken. It wasn't right. It wasn't correct. And it will never be correct. The debate tomorrow will be better. All 3 candidates will be there. Rainwater will be there tomorrow. We will be live streaming that debate tomorrow as well. That will be at 6 p.m. We will also be live streaming the debate on Thursday, the 24th. That's not tomorrow, not the next Thursday, but the 3rd Thursday from now. We will be live streaming that. And do not forget, besides those 2 debates, we still have Rainwater for one more town hall. We will be doing the Rainwater Digital Town Hall Forum right here on this channel on Thursday, October 17th. So, for all of you that are Rainwater fans and supporters, you're going to hear from Rainwater tonight, okay? And we're going to be talking about the debate and what his thoughts were. We're going to talk about his thing with Kindle this morning. Then we're going to have Rainwater on the 17th. Then we're going to have Rainwater on in the debate tomorrow. And then we're going to have him on the 24th. So we will get to see Rainwater over the course of the next several weeks a lot. So there are 13% of Hoosiers that are claiming that they are undecided yet. I'm asking you, if you are a Hoosier voter, if you have social media, share this link, share this channel. If you're new here, we are a political podcast. We are not journalists. I am not a journalist. I'm not giving you just the facts, ma'am. This is political opinion. We are political commentary, political analysis. We do local, state, and national politics. We are 2 episodes away from episode 300. When we hit the 300th show, because we're right here close to the November general election, we are going to bump up some of the national coverage a little bit more throughout each episode, because that is important. But we are not going to do that at the expense of the state and the local. We are going to get it all in. So please do us a favor. Hit the like, share, subscribe, do all of that. And this is the biggest thing. We are very interactive. Please, 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 if you're watching live, comment over here in the live comment box on the side of the screen. If you're watching via replay in the future, comment down in the comment box down below and let us know what you think. Let us know what you're feeling, if you agree, if you disagree. And we will get back with you, and we will communicate with you. That's very important. I do want to say, before we get really kicked off tonight, before Rainwater gets here, and before we get started, tonight is obviously live, being broadcast Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. That means we are 275 days into a communications drought between myself and one of the 9 Muncie, Indiana city councilors. Dale Basham refuses to communicate with the public, refuses to answer emails. He refuses to give answers on what his thoughts are, his opinions. He just refuses to do that. We are going to keeping that counting up until we either get him to communicate or we run his ass out of office. So that's the way that is. It is also important to know that if you are watching this live, we are now 34 days away from Tuesday's election day, Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. We are 34 days away. That's very, very, very important. That also means that we are, what is it? 4 or 5 days away from Monday's voter registration deadline. If you are not registered to vote, you can get registered. It's very easy. Producer Kate just dropped it down at the bottom. The crawler is letting you know where you need to go to get registered. www.indianavoters.com. That is www.indianavoters.com. Indiana Voters with an S at the end, .com. INDIANAVOTERS.com. Get registered. You can register from what you're watching this on. It's very easy. If you're doing it on a phone, on your tablet, on a computer, on a laptop, it will take you exactly 3 minutes or less. You will need your driver's license, your state-issued ID, social security number. It's really easy. It'll take you 3 minutes. If you need to check your registration to make sure you're up to date, if you have gotten divorced, if you've moved, you will want to take care of all of that beforehand. That will expire. Voters registration will expire at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, October 7th. And then early voting starts here in the state of Indiana on Tuesday, October 8th. So please, please, please get registered. Without further ado, it looks as though we have the man of the hour, the man of the episode. It looks like he is here with us now. And so we are going to get joined up with him here in just 1 second. I do want to say it appears as though he realized where he was at. And it seems as though he's dressed up for us. So it will be very interesting because it looks like Mr. Rainwater is dressed to the nines. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing all right. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you. It's wonderful.
Well, hopefully my rural internet connection brought to you from the outskirts of the thriving metropolis of Nineveh, Indiana, won't lag too much. And, we have been out all day talking to people on the radio, talking to voters, just having a great day campaigning. And so, unfortunately, I'm dressed down a little bit. I'm not as dressed up as I normally would be for your show, but
I hear you.
I appreciate you having me on anyway, man.
Hey, it's no problem. We take all kinds. It's kind of like church here. We're open. We'll take
Amen.
you in your birthday suit or whatever. Nobody can see, as long as you got the camera from here up. You're good to go. So
that's right. Yes, and I will tell you, I'm not wearing gym shorts. I remember being in high school, and that one senior day when all the jocks would wear their suits and their gym shorts and their tennis shoes. Although I did downtown today, I saw a gentleman in a very nice suit wearing tennis shoes, and I had to stop him and say, "Man, I wish I could wrap my head around doing that. You look a lot more comfortable than I am in these dress shoes." He goes, "Man, right. I'll tell you, it took me a while to get there." So I'm like, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Catherine, they're going to allow me to debate tomorrow night. You can watch me on Wish TV 8 at 6 p.m. We will have both versions of the future of Indiana government. The big government version that both of my opponents are putting forth, and the small government maximum freedom. I'm wearing the yellow tie, the gold tie for the Libertarian Party.
Right.
But I understand.
Hey, so I like that you've already started right in answering some questions here from the audience. We've got a question here that I think is really important, and I don't know if you know exactly, and I feel like I know what you're going to say, but I figured we would ask it just the way that it came in because it's important. We've got Mr. John Hume here, who has asked how many dollars it would take for television commercials for you. Like, what are you doing? I think what do you need donation wise? Are you looking at goals? Are you just saying, give us everything that you've got? Where are you at with this?
So let me lay out some parameters here, because that's an interesting question. And of course, I'll tell you real quick the dad joke that I do whenever we're out at a restaurant and the server comes up and says, "Can I get you anything else?" And I look up and I say, $1 million. And my wife rolls her eyes. Everybody laughs and chuckles. And so I could say I need $1 million. But the reality is that what we're looking for right now, we can reach through text messaging 125,000 voters with $5,000.
Wow.
So if I had
Good Lord.
$50,000, because we do that new math.
Yeah, yeah.
With $50,000, we could reach 1,250,000 voters.
Okay.
So I would love to have another 50 grand to do that. That is the most cost-effective way to reach out to voters today and
Sure.
let them know that we exist and ask them to go to the website and take a look. When we ran television ads 4 years ago, I'm told it cost us about $150,000. And that was just to run ads for about 2 weeks. Every little bit helps, folks.
Yeah.
Every dollar that you donate will help us get our message out.
Yeah.
And the reality is I would have loved to have been on Fox 59 tonight. I feel that is an opportunity tomorrow night to reach a lot of voters that may not have heard of me yet. But to be able to reach out to 1,250,000 voters with 50 grand, where we can actually target registered voters who have provided their phone number on their voter registration. I don't know about you, Chris, but Kamala or Ms. Harris, and the Donald have been texting me for weeks now.
Oh, yeah.
Wanting to know if I'm going to help out. And, I wish I could text them back and say, you first.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
You donate to me, and then I'll think about donating to you.
Right.
Whatever the case may be, because of course, the reality is that right, wrong, or indifferent, and I believe it's wrong. I think there should be specific rules.
Yes.
That create an equal playing field.
Yes.
And there are people who tell me that that's not a very libertarian viewpoint. And I would say, well, I'm going to disagree with you because I want to make sure that picking winners and losers is not part of our election system.
Yes. Yeah.
And right now, as probably everyone listening to us, watching us this evening knows, if you're independently wealthy, or if you have a huge labor union who is funding your campaign, you can do things that I can't do.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I am not going to take money from someone who wants quid pro quo. I believe that I am here to represent you, like I call myself, an everyday average Hoosier.
Yes.
And that's who I'm here to represent. And that's what we need to really focus on, is that the way the system works today is not optimal, but you got to play the game. You got to play the hand that's dealt. And if you win the game, then you can make the decision to change the game.
Yeah.
But you got to win the game first.
Well, that's absolutely. And and I'm sure we'll talk about it here in just a little bit more, but you were on 93.1 WIBC today, and one of your responses to Rob was when you guys were kind of going back and forth about some of his comments about the amount of money that you have or that you've raised or that you've not raised.
Right.
I thought that your answer was fantastic when you said, what kind of government do you want? So just real quick, for those people that didn't hear that, you were on the radio today and Rob did because even though Rob has decided to go a different way this election, with his endorsement, he still feels like we do that you should have been on the stage tonight. And so he was doing their part to give you some airtime today, which I really appreciate that. And so for the question of, why should you be looked at because you haven't raised dollars? Your answer is,
well,
what's your answer to that?
I think I alluded to it there a minute ago that, I represent the average individual Hoosier. I am not representing, large corporate CEOs. They're not going to write me a check. You're not going to find any labor unions writing me a check. And the reality is that I have to raise my money $20, $50, $100 at a time. And who do we want in the governor's office?
Right.
We want a candidate who has somebody else's hand stuck in their back, making their mouth move. I'm going to be very blunt. Do we want an organization like Hope Inc., which is a group of elite establishment Republicans who are creating all of the policy papers for Senator Braun? Do we want them? Do we want Make It Red? The people behind the money behind Senator Braun and his campaign, the same folks who are pushing the LEAP project in Lebanon. Are these the people we want running the governor's office? Or do we want somebody who understands what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck? Somebody who understands what it's about to have to decide, am I going to put gas in the car or buy extra groceries? You can't really honestly say, and this is, Reagan said, you can't be for big government, big taxes, and big bureaucracy and still be for the little guy. Well, pound-wise, I'm not a little guy. But from a political standpoint, I'm the little guy.
Yeah.
I'm the outsider. Sorry, Senator Braun, you can't claim that anymore. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm the outsider. I wasn't a state senator or a state representative and then a U.S. senator, now running for governor. I'm a real Hoosier citizen who's fed up with the way things are, and I'm ready for change. And I'm willing to do the work and make the sacrifice to make the change, to be the change. We have to make a decision. Do we just want to go to the polls and be led around by this tribalist narrative that my tribe's good and their tribe's evil, and you got to hit the tribe button? And I'm sorry if that sounds a little condescending. I don't mean it to be that way, but I'm just a little fed up.
Yeah.
I'm a little tired of hearing people talk about wanting change, and then they go and they vote the same way they always have, and then they go home and they complain that we need a change. Oh, I thought Braun was going to be different. I thought McCormick was going to be different. First of all, neither one of them know whether they're a Republican or a Democrat. They can't make up their mind. And for all, and I'm sure they're both very nice people personally.
Sure.
But from a policy standpoint, they really do both sound like Oliver Twist. More. Give me more, please, sir.
Yes.
We need more of your money. Give me more authority over your life. Give me. Now, they'll try to make it sound like, well, I want to do, Reagan also said the 9 most terrifying words of the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah.
And they both want to talk about how they're going to fix this problem. Thank you, Danny's thoughts. Thank you so much. God bless you. But I think it's important that we stop and think about this. They say they're going to fix things, but they've both had chances before.
Yeah.
And neither of them made things better during their time in office. I mean, I'm frustrated by the fact that Senator Braun keeps saying that he has fixed all of these problems at his little business down there in Jasper, but he won't tell us how he did it.
Right.
Healthcare. He's going to fix healthcare. He knows how. He did it in his business down there in Jasper. He fixed the healthcare cost problem. Well, he's been a state representative and a U.S. senator, and he's not told anybody how he did it. And I want to know why.
Yeah.
Why would we elect somebody to be governor of the state of Indiana who's hiding the secret to lower healthcare costs somewhere until we elect him governor?
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
Folks, we have got to understand that these people are gaslighting us. They do not care about us. They are after control of $22 billion a year. That's billion with a B. And the truth of the matter is they want control over how that money is spent, because how they spend that $22 billion will determine how much money they put in their bank account while they're governor.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I want control of that $22 billion too, but not for the reason they want it.
Right.
They want to give it to their buddies. I want to give it back to the 6.8 million Hoosiers who earned it in the first place.
Yeah.
Calvin Coolidge said, if you bring in more money than you need to operate the government, it's legalized robbery.
Yes,
well,
sir.
I don't know about you, but I'm tired of my government holding me at gunpoint.
Right.
I am sick of it.
Absolutely.
It is time to take back the government that is supposed to be ours in the first place.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
No,
I got a lot of pent up frustration.
On a roll. No, that's great.
Maybe it's because I was supposed to be somewhere tonight.
Yeah, right. Moving into another topic that is pretty timely. I keep wanting to say last year because it should be last year, but it wasn't. It was just
4 years ago, right?
Well, no, yeah. It was just this earlier this year, 6 months ago. I was fighting what I believe to be a pretty unconstitutional bill that I think supermajority Republican state reps and state senators were pushing through, this 1133, that I think they were trying to protect themselves from creators like myself, from putting out videos and content. Listen, I don't ever put out something that is not a truthful commentary. There are periods of time where we will use satire or parody, but and we label it so, and people know what it is. We're not ever going to do anything that I consider crossing the line. That being said,
so what you're saying is you wouldn't put up a picture where people were supposed to be holding political signs and replace the signs with no gas stoves? You wouldn't do that?
No, you know what? No, listen, I'll be honest. Me as a political commentator, I have changed wording on things like that before, but I have always stated, like, this is for parody, this is satire, proving a point. And in the whole, I don't have a problem really with what Braun did. What I think is funny, though, is it's the Republicans that pushed this bill through, and now it's Braun who's getting spanked for this bill. But the bottom line is, whether we like it or not, it is a law. And here we have a guy that's running to be the top man of Indiana, and he's passing the buck. You should have heard what he said tonight during the campaign. He's blaming on every Tom, Dick, or Harry but him, and would not take responsibility for this. My question is to you: this whole mess with Braun and this deal with this picture, what are your thoughts on this? I know you've had some commentary on that over the last couple of days, but I'm interested in you telling the listeners what you're saying.
So let me throw this in the bigger picture. First of all, we have a man who ran for U.S. Senate, and as a result of his Senate campaign, the Federal Election Commission gave him one of the highest fines they have ever levied for campaign finance irregularities. So in other words, somebody within Senator Braun's campaign screwed up campaign finance filings, and they gave him a huge fine for it.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have the same man whose campaign puts out an intentionally deceptive picture to improperly and incorrectly paint an opponent as something that they are not.
Yeah.
And as you said, he takes no responsibility for that. My question is, if that man is governor of the state of Indiana, and he's supposed to be responsible for the executive branch of government, and he won't take responsibility for the small number of people that work in his campaigns, how in the world do you expect him to take charge and to actually do something constructive to fix the corruption, fraud, waste, and abuse in state government?
Absolutely.
I don't think he will. I don't think he has any intention of overseeing state government the way that it should be overseen. And that, to me, is a huge problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you said a very important factor there. You know, what Rob Kendall does, or some political commentator, myself, or some Abdul making some Gary Varvel, whatever, doing something, is a little bit different than a candidate doing it against an opponent in a very deceptive manner to try to, pull a fast one. And then what's really interesting is I've even heard now there's a third iteration of this commercial. Have you heard this?
No.
Where, so they released it without the disclaimer. Then they quickly put the disclaimer in. Now they've pulled it back and put the picture in as it was without the AI thing. So it's just the signs that say her political sign, and now they've taken the disclaimer back off. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Why are you screwing with this?
Well, because when you well, it's very similar to his property tax plan, right?
Yes.
You know, how many times are they going to change that? I guess until they think they've got it right.
Yeah.
Right. Let's throw it up on the wall, see if it'll stick. No, it's sliding down the wall. I guess we'll try something else. And here again, you know, it's troubling to me.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm just an everyday average Hoosier. I am not a millionaire. I don't have a PhD in whatever Dr. McCormick's PhD is in education, I'm assuming.
Sure.
Right. I'm just a guy trying to own a house, work a job, drive a car, raise a kid in the state of Indiana.
Yeah.
But I'm troubled by what I see from my two opponents, because I don't understand how we can trust Senator Braun, and I'm concerned about Dr. McCormick's desire to control your kids from birth to 12th grade.
Yeah.
That really I want to raise my child. I don't want the state doing it.
Right.
And the idea here again, we got to be really careful, and we got to understand what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, well, you need childcare from the minute that child is born so you can go to work somewhere. Not if you want to.
Right.
It's, well, you need this because we need you out there in the workforce generating that income tax and property tax and this tax and that tax. It's just ridiculous. But that's what they want. Oh, and yeah, don't get me started on J.D. Prescott's plan, because when I first heard it, it was 4%. Now it's 5%. And let me just, folks, whenever somebody says, oh, they want to replace property taxes with a 5% sales tax on services, ask them this. Does that mean that little Johnny who mows my yard, the teenager, does he have to go get a retail merchant certificate and start collecting sales tax from me?
Yeah.
What about Susie, who is the young lady who does my babysitting? Is she going to have to go get a retail merchant certificate and charge me sales tax for babysitting? They're not thinking this stuff through. They're not thinking about the fact that when you have services that have not been charging sales tax and now they have to do that, that creates an overhead for every one of those business owners. That means the price of their service has to go up and the 5% sales tax has to be tacked on top of it.
Yeah.
The impact that is going to have on our economy is going to be staggering, and they're not thinking about that. They're just trying to get a Republican elected to the governor's office, so they've got to come up with something better than what I've suggested. And They haven't really done it, and all they can do is go, well, where are we going to replace the revenue? Sorry, folks, your government is addicted to spending your money. And if they can't get their fix from property taxes, they want to know where they're going to get it from. And I'm telling you, it's time that you look at them and said, you show me line for line where my money's going, and we'll talk about it.
Right. Well, and just so you're up to date on how the plan has changed again, he was at a meeting in Delaware County tonight, at the same time the debate was going on, and it's now up to 7%. And he's talking about getting rid of assessors in all of the counties. That's going to be interesting.
I'm all for that. I'm all for, let's get rid of the assessors. But if we get rid of the assessors, then that's overhead we're getting rid of. We don't need 7% sales tax on services.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The reality is a little birdie told me that J.D. Prescott told the little birdie that the reality is that the sales tax on services will actually generate more revenue than property taxes do. So once again, this is one of these bait and switch, gaslighting, whatever else you want to call it. What they're doing is they want more of your money. They want to control that money so they can give it to the people who are going to turn around and do for them. This is quid pro quo, and it has no place in government. And if we don't do something about it, it's only going to get worse. Sorry, I'm a little opinionated.
No, that's fantastic.
I'm sorry. I also want to point out that this services tax, it has to generate more revenue than property taxes, because right now property taxes are only property owners. If they switch it over to services, if I rent, if I live with mom and dad, if I don't own property technically, I'm now paying that tax too.
Sure.
Well, and Kate, you're right, but I do want to point out that renters pay property taxes.
Yeah,
they pay the property taxes for the landlords that they rent from, because landlords pass that.
It's passed along.
The renters.
It's passed along, but as far as revenue for the county,
yeah,
it's still just
here's the other thing, right?
Property.
If they're creating a new sales tax on services, that money's going to be collected by the state. So what they're saying is, we're going to restructure everything so that local governments get the money they need.
Yeah.
They could do that now if they wanted to, and just eliminate the property tax. But then they wouldn't have their slush fund. They would have to figure out, well, how do we replace that revenue? And here again, I want to make this very clear. The next time I hear somebody look at me and say, all you want to do is defund the police.
Yes.
They did that years ago when they implemented tax abatements and tax increment financing. They have been defunding local community services for decades. And they have more money than they know what to do with, which is why, we talk about affordable housing. We could have affordable housing if these local municipal governments weren't creating these really high level minimum requirements for developers to keep, quote unquote, the riffraff out.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that is, here again, just awful.
Yeah.
We don't want affordable housing built in our town. So we're going to raise that. You know what? That we've got to understand government is not the solution to the problem.
Yeah,
folks.
right. No.
Government is the problem.
It is the problem, always. In every aspect. In absolutely every aspect.
Let me tell you, Luke Lomax just made a comment.
Yeah.
And tips were not a bad idea. The fact that people got a hold of them and adulterated their original purpose is the problem. Originally, tax increment financing was designed for areas that were economically depressed in order to create additional funding to help bring that up. And here again, we go back and we hear that old cliche that a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is the way that TIFs and tax abatements are used today, and the IEDC and all these regional and local redevelopment corporations, we don't have a rising tide. We've got a tsunami that only the largest ships are rising. The rest of us are being capsized.
Mm-hmm.
And we stand around and we go, well, they're doing it for us. It's what's best for everybody. No, it's not what's best for everybody. It's what's best. And here again, every Hoosier is essential.
Yeah.
Every Hoosier's rights were endowed upon them by the Creator. Not just some of us. Not just the ones with an R beside our name or a D beside our name, or if we were born in a certain area or with a certain, this is really, we've just got to figure out, we've got to come to grips with the fact that it's not me against you.
Yeah.
It's us against them.
Yes.
And they're the problem.
Yes.
And we've got to stop voting for them and start voting for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Really quickly, and we could talk. The thing is, we could talk about any one of these things for hours and hours and hours.
Right.
And it's like
Yes,
this, just trying to get to so much. No. I love it. I think it's fantastic. But I don't want to keep you too long. I know you've been running crazy, and I know you got a busy day tomorrow, but I do want to show this quick little blurb from the debate tonight. It's something that honestly you and I haven't talked about a whole lot, because it's crazy that we still haven't dealt with cannabis reform here in Indiana. It's nonsense. I know where you stand. Anybody that's listened to you knows where you stand, but I want you and the other folks that maybe didn't hear, I want you to hear how these candidates address this tonight, and then I want to hear your thoughts about this, about their thoughts. All right, let's get this. Let's turn this on here. So the question here is, what's the plan to address marijuana? And we're going to hear from McCormick and Braun.
Yeah. Absolutely. So 80% of the Hoosiers, I hear you, and it is time. We are on an island of our own, and every state around us has legalized and is taking advantage of this. And Hoosiers are using, whether medical or recreational, it's here. So it's time we take advantage. We rolled out our common sense cannabis plan that starts with a well-regulated industry with a commission that we would certainly bring law enforcement to the table to make sure we're doing this in a very thoughtful way. It's a lot of money. Low estimates, $177 million. With tens, if not thousands of jobs. What a huge economic boost for the state of Indiana. It's time. So I hear concerns from law enforcement. We are willing to work with them. I appreciate everything they do. And their voice will be certainly at that table when we have our commission in order to get to medical first and then go into adult use.
And what would that partnership look like? How would you address what they're now concerned about, whether it's roadside safety or some other traffic investigations? 15 seconds, if you could.
Yeah, and we have to look at the arrest and those who are right now incarcerated. So making sure that they are part of that commission, making sure that their concerns are heard, and making sure that we can find some common ground. I mean, they will be a critical piece to make sure this is successful.
Thank you, Ms. McCormick. Mr. Braun, now to you. The last time you were on our debate stage, you signaled that you were open to medicinal marijuana, legalizing it in our state if a bill landed on your desk. So what would that bill need to include now for you to sign it into law? 60 seconds.
So that's going to be very simple. And she referred to the fact that law enforcement is kind of concerned about her approach. I'll be listening to them for sure. They'll have to put up with the consequences of it. I'm an entrepreneur by trade. I build a business having to look at things as they change. And by the way, when it comes to law enforcement, I'm the one here that's been endorsed by the FOP and the State Police Alliance, among many other sheriffs as well. That is critical. We are surrounded by 4 states currently. Many others have already done it. And to me, medical use of marijuana is something, yes, that we need to look at. I hear a lot of that from people across the board. And I will be open to doing what makes sense.
Okay, so what are...
If you want to arrest it from
trying to get rid of that there. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, so first of all, let me make a couple of very clear statements so that nobody is confused by what my position is. We have legal tobacco in the state of Indiana. We have legal bourbon, beer, wine. Cannabis should be legal the same way. As far as Dr. McCormick's commission, we have a state agency that handles alcohol and tobacco. We have regulations that, we have regulations that regulate alcohol and tobacco. We should be able to just fold this right in.
Sure.
Cannabis is not something where we need, but see, here again, in her mind, everything needs to be an expansion of government.
Yeah.
We need a new commission. We need a new board. We need more of this and more of that. And I would like to make sure that I say this. And again, my grandfather was a police officer.
Yeah.
When he retired from being a policeman, he became the county jailer. I am not in favor of defunding the police. I support the police as those who protect and serve. They are law enforcement. Senator Braun evidently thinks that they are part of the legislature.
Right.
They should make policy in the state of Indiana. I disagree with him vehemently.
Yeah.
I understand that there are concerns. I believe that we can address those concerns without tying both hands behind our back and saying we can't govern the state of Indiana without permission from the police. That to me is a little bit pandering and patronizing.
Yeah.
And here again, I support the police entirely, but I got to look at Mr. Braun and say, come on, man.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't govern without checking with the police first. You can't go to the legislature and pass laws without the police. But now here's the truth, right? I'm sure that Dr. McCormick has to run most of her education policy past the Indiana State Teachers Association, too.
Sure.
Which, once again, we need to negotiate with the teachers union and make sure that teachers are provided with the salaries and the support and the benefits that they need, because teachers are involved in the majority of the day with our state's most important natural resource, our children.
Yeah.
But labor unions, the police, should not be making policy in the state of Indiana. Our elected officials should be doing that. And if that offends anybody, I'm sorry, but I believe that to be true based on the fact that that's what the state constitution says.
Sure.
But I think we need to decriminalize and legalize all forms of cannabis immediately. Like our current governor says, we need more research. We don't need any more research. The research is everybody around us is doing it, and the world is not burning.
Odd.
And whether I agree with or personally use cannabis in any form doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Your rights are not mine to decide.
Yeah.
They're mine to defend, but not decide. Government does not give you your rights. Again, Jefferson said that your rights were endowed upon you by your creator. The government did not create you, therefore they do not give you your rights.
Amen.
Therefore, when we talk about the pursuit of happiness at being a right, if government is infringing on your pursuit of happiness and you're not hurting anybody, the government is infringing on your rights.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, if you want to sit at home and consume cannabis and you're not hurting anybody, the government should be out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, if you want to sit at home and eat yourself to 400 pounds,
sure,
and you're not hurting anybody else, the government should be out of it.
Yeah. Or smoke or drink, anything else with it, as long as you're not, as long as you're not hurting anyone else. So, yeah.
And by the way, the old argument that, well, if you don't take care of yourself and you don't take care of your health, it drives my healthcare costs up. That's just a lie. What drives healthcare costs up is that the insurance companies have too many restrictions put on them by government, and healthcare providers have too many restrictions put on them by government, and therefore there's not enough competition, and therefore the prices are too high. If you want to get healthcare under control, what you do is you get rid of all of these regulations that benefit the largest corporations and keep new innovative entrepreneurs out of the market.
Yeah.
That's what's causing the price problem.
Right. You brought up the
sorry, I'm on a roll.
No, I love it. That's what you're here for. You brought up that debate between you and Holcomb and Dr. Myers from 2020, where he was talking about the research, and I'm telling you, that was just absolutely shocking, just amazing. So,
well, and what's more amazing is the man admits that he did his own research in college.
Yeah, right.
And then he turns around and says it's a gateway drug.
Right.
And you have to ask yourself, well, then what gateway did our governor go through? What's he doing now?
Yeah. Right.
It's the disingenuous doublespeak.
Yeah.
From the political establishment elites.
Yeah.
They can't be honest. They can't have an honest conversation with us, because then they would be exposed as, here again, only wanting to control that $22 billion a year so they can redistribute it to their buddies who are going to then turn around and do favors for them later.
Sure.
And that all of this other stuff, I mean, for goodness sake, I'm still not sure after watching that clip what Dr. McCormick's actual position is.
That's really interesting that you say that, because there are several times that she answered, and the debate tonight moved really quickly, and there were several times that she answered where it was just her talking, and I felt like, 2 or 3 sentences in, she had said a bunch of words, but she really hadn't said anything. And I think that's was very indicative of most of her answers. Now, saying that, I do believe she kind of edged him out tonight. I do believe that she was more alive than he was, and for all of the weirdness, I do believe that she, in my opinion, she came out a little ahead. So that is kind of interesting, and it will definitely be interesting to see how it plays out tomorrow between the three of you, and what. Well,
I can tell you one thing: Senator Braun better wear a suit tomorrow night, because if he doesn't, I'm going to make a comment about it.
Okay, well, that's
because showing up for a job interview for in front of 6.8 million people and not dressing for because see, you're supposed to dress for the job you want, not for the job you've got.
Yep.
And he's not dressing for the job he wants, is he?
Absolutely. Oh, I'm telling you, he had no loafers either. I want to, we'll get ready to wind you down here. I know it's getting late, and like I said, I want you to be able to get rested up for tomorrow's event, but I want you to hear one more little blurb. It's, about, and I think it's about a minute 43 seconds here. And of course, this is the other big topic. This is a big topic here in Indiana, as well as across the nation. And I want you to hear what they have to say on that. And then, of course, get your thoughts on this as well. Here we go. This is their thoughts on the Indiana's abortion laws.
So we're a right to life state, and that sanctity of life gets weighed against the counterpoint. And when our legislature took it on, they talked to their constituents, to Hoosiers, and it's withstood the courts weighing in. So it is a bill that sanctifies life. We're a state that does that with reasonable exceptions. And I think the people have spoken, the legislators listened, and we got a bill that seems to be working for Hoosiers.
Let's turn this now to you, Ms. McCormick. You've promised to overturn the state's abortion ban if elected. As a Democrat who most likely would be working alongside a Republican supermajority in the state house, how would you overturn the law and get bipartisan support to do so? And
I don't know how any elected official could say it's working, because we have women already dying in Indiana, and we have stories being told every day and are being reported on. I'm the only person on the stage who's been pregnant. I'm the only person on this stage who's given birth. I'm the only person on this stage who is a mom, and I understand firsthand the complexities associated with pregnancy. And I trust women. I trust healthcare providers. I believe in the standards that were set by Roe. It's time we return that. There is too much at stake. I know my opponent said that that he thought we got it right. And when you make comments like that, we put a lot of women's lives at risk. It's complex. I'm also concerned about IVF and birth control, as I know a lot of people say it's not at risk. When you leave that up to the states, we have seen time and time again that it has become at risk. We have plenty of examples to point to. Again, I trust women, and there are a lot of Hoosiers who are with me on this issue.
So I just thought, again, her comments there about people dying every day. I mean, that's rather interesting, but your thoughts on what we heard there, and thoughts about that question overall.
Well, the reality is that the Supreme Court issued a decision. The state legislature passed a law. It became law. It is now up to the courts to determine, is the law constitutional or is it not? All of this other discussion is political grandstanding.
Yes.
We need to let the courts do their job. If there are constitutional issues with the law, we need to fix those constitutional issues. We can stand and talk and talk and talk all day long. It doesn't change anything. And the courts and the legislature have to do what they believe is constitutionally correct.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's about as nice and compact as you can get without going too overboard. And like you said, a lot of it is political grandstanding. And so I don't think that the abortion topic has been a topic that we have covered too much in our talk. So I definitely wanted to get your thoughts on that. I'm sure this won't be the last time you talk about this you've got two more debates. You've got a debate obviously tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Tomorrow,
and
right.
then you've got a debate on Thursday, the 24th at 7 p.m. with the Indiana Debate Commission. So you will be on a stage with both of those opponents two more times. I've got to say personally, I was absolutely appalled that none of the moderators or anyone mentioned during this debate tonight that even though there were two candidates on stage, that there was a third candidate. I think that was rather interesting. I'm surprised that they didn't do that. I'm very disappointed that Braun and McCormick didn't make some sort of statement or demand to have you there. But again, I guess they are who they are, and that's telling there. So I guess before we let you go, do you have any last statements, any thought about how the night went on?
Do you have any last words?
Yeah.
Because I'm not ready for that yet. I did just turn 61, but I'm not ready to give my last words to anybody.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
But I do want to say, first of all, I want all of you who have supported the campaign, who have donated in the past, thank you so much for your support. If you believe in what we're doing, I need your continued support.
Yes.
Which means I need you to go to rainwaterforindiana.com and click on one of those donate buttons. You can donate by credit or debit or by PayPal. And as you, Chris, alluded to earlier, any dollar amount is appreciated. But what would really be my immediate goal would be to raise about $50,000 to pay for text messaging to 1,250,000 voters. And I'm sure that none of your current viewing audience has $50,000 laying around that they can donate. But every little bit helps.
Absolutely.
For those folks who already donated this evening, thank you so much. And the other thing is, tell all your friends to watch Wish TV 8 tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting, to say the least.
We just like we did again tonight. We'll jump the feed. We'll live stream it here, so folks can watch it here. And we'll do that as well. So that will be at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Obviously, you can watch it at 6 or anytime there afterwards. Kate and I will then be live tomorrow evening afterwards at 9 for a regular show. And we, of course, will break that down. Tomorrow, we will watch a lot more of the debate on the live program on episode, what is tomorrow, 299, because all three candidates will be there. So we will break it down for those who don't get to watch it. Yeah, so that will be there. I do want to throw up on the screen one more time while you're here, and say that we have one more town hall forum also this month, Thursday the 17th at 7 p.m. So that will be a digital town hall forum. If you are a new viewer here tonight and you have not watched the other two forums, there are two other forums that we've done just like the one that's on the screen. And it's basically myself and my co-host Brandon and Don here, and it's a little bit different. It's not like laid back talking. Basically, we go fire. We're asking him questions from the viewing audience, and so anyone that's interested, let me see here. We can put up on the screen if you're interested in submitting questions to that. You can submit questions here to that town hall by going to rainwater4indiana.com/contact, and you can submit your questions there. If you want to submit questions for the town hall on the 17th, try to have them in. I think your team said that they would like to have them in by the 15th. So try to do that here in the next couple days. But if you don't get it in there, you can also leave our questions. The link is already up for those that didn't see. The link is already up there. So if you go to our Facebook page and you go to you look for the Rainwater Town Hall virtual question and answer session on Thursday, October 17th. It is already made and there. So you can also put questions in there in the live chat as well. And so we will do that. So there are going to be several other times where he will be on with us, or he will be on for a debate. And then I'm sure you'll be out and about for the next 30 some days doing your thing, I would imagine.
Yep. And I do just want to make sure that everybody knows that any questions that I answer tomorrow night during the debate or on the 17th, I will not have to check with the Indiana State Teachers Association or the Fraternal Order of Police before giving my answer. I will be giving an answer based on what I think. And Catherine, if you go to rainwaterforindiana.com and click on the yard sign button at the top of the page and fill out the request form, we will get you a yard sign.
Yep.
No, I won't have to do that either, Catherine. I will not have to ask my wife before I answer any questions tomorrow night. She lets me do that on my own.
He might have to answer to her once he gets home, but he won't have to ask her any questions up front there. So yeah,
that's right.
So yeah, if for I put that up on the screen there for more information about any other information that you might want. If there's a question that you have, he has like some his policy points on there. If you want to donate to the campaign, I'll say that again. If you want to donate to the campaign, if you want to get a sign, or if you want to contact him, do that through the website there at rainwaterforindiana.com. We will live stream tomorrow. Of course, he will be back here on the 17th, and we will live stream the 24th. Those two debates. The other thing that I wanted to say was, man, there was something else that I wanted to say to you. Well, I can't think of what that was. I just can't. I can't. It completely went out. Was there something else I needed to say
I'm
to
the one
him?
that just turned 61.
I know. I cannot believe that.
What's going on here, buddy? Are you
I
all
know.
right?
It's been one of those days.
Oh yeah, no. Hey, I was on with Rob Kendall this morning. I know it's been one of those days. I mean, you want to talk about something that'll suck the life out of you? Come on, man.
That's hilarious. Well, I appreciate you coming on with us, and I appreciate you giving your thoughts about what happened tonight, and talking with everybody. Like, it's always a pleasure talking with you, and yeah, if there's anything we can do.
Answer one other quick question here. Catherine
sure.
has asked about bigger signs than yard signs.
Yes.
And I will say, if you go to rainwaterforindiana.com, click on the yard sign button, fill out the form, and in the message, tell them you want a big old honking sign. And that's a technical term for anybody who doesn't know. That is a technical IT term, a big old honking. But if you tell them you want a 4x8 sign, they'll get a hold of you and let you know what is required to get a 4x8 sign. They are a little more expensive, so we normally ask with ask folks to help defray that cost. And yes, I would love to see big old honking signs all over the state of Indiana.
Yes.
But I'm just encouraged by the number of yard signs, period. To be very honest with you, we have put out more yard signs, I believe, in this campaign than we did in 2020.
That's good.
Well, yes, because when people tell you that, well, I was just a flash in the pan because of the pandemic, I think they're going to find out differently.
Yeah.
I think they're going to see that Hoosiers want their individual freedom, and their money is part of that. Don't ever forget, the money you earn is your property. It belongs to you, and the fact that the government takes part of it before you ever get it is ethically and morally wrong.
Absolutely.
We need to abolish the income tax. We need to abolish the property tax. We need to get rid of the two taxes on gasoline. I'm okay with the sales tax, but we don't need the excise tax and the sales tax.
Yeah.
We've got to start holding our government accountable for all that they are taking from us.
Absolutely.
And nothing that they're giving to, let's be honest.
Yeah.
They're taking all kinds of money for the roads, and the roads suck.
Yeah, right. Nothing's being done there.
Why is that? And they say, oh, well, we need more money for the roads. And they're still bad. Let's be honest. Senator Braun voted for that excise tax increase in 2017. That was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And roads have not gotten any better, folks.
Yeah.
We are in a perpetual state of road repair. If you drive around 465 in Indianapolis, you just, oh my goodness.
I try to do anything but that.
Right. Absolutely. So we just have to understand that they're going to keep taking and taking and taking until we stop giving.
Yeah. I see Christy Avery's here. Hey, Christy Avery, how you doing? Hey, folks, also do us a favor. Share this link. Spread this word. Get this message out. But don't just watch this one. Go back and watch the other town hall forums we've done. We've done 2 others. Besides that, he's also been just a regular guest during 2 other episodes. You can go back through our playlists and find those. It's very easy. While you're here, if you are not a subscriber, if you have not subscribed, you ought to do that. That would be very beneficial. You can do all of the regular YouTube things that there are there. You can give us the finger. Click the thumb, give us a like. subscribe, hit the bell. It doesn't cost you anything. But above all else, share the show, spread the word. That helps us grow. It helps spread the word for Rainwater and for other people that we support, or to get the message out about people that we don't like. So that is a way to help us out. And I knew that we would talk just long enough that I would remember what I was going to say to you. And I do want to let you know that we have had a couple different people that have donated to you directly tonight, but I do want to let you know. And Kate, what I'll do is, you said that you want to put half of that $1.99 in. So what I'll do is I'll just cover all of that.
Yes. So we had I got a birthday present tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys have a birthday about the same time. When's your birthday?
Share a birthday.
Do you share a birthday the same day?
30th.
Holy crap.
So
wait a minute. When was your birthday, Kate?
September 30th.
Hey.
Well, that's
I'm going to share my birthday present from Catherine with my birthday buddy. So.
Well, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
Kate, did you hear me? You, me, and Truman Capote.
Well, hey.
Growing up, you know how, on people's birthdays, they always talk about the celebrity birthdays on this date.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, the only celebrity that had a birthday on September 30th was Truman Capote.
How weird.
Tell me about it, right? People have all these cool celebrity, athletes and actors and musicians, and I've got Truman Capote.
Capote.
You know who I have? I get Donald Rainwater.
Well, there you go. I'm sorry.
It's my celebrity birthday. But
that's hilarious. Well,
so, I'm going to share the wealth. So you're getting half of my birthday present.
Yeah.
Well,
so we will. We will send that. We'll be sending that your direction. I know that Kate and Brandon and I have helped you out when we can, and we're going to continue doing that. And I definitely want to ask anybody out there, every bit helps. I know people think, well, this is only $5 or $10. It helps. So, that's.
That's right. 100 people give $5. That's $500.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, I didn't know you and Kate shared a birthday. I knew you had a birthday around the same time. And the other day, I was able to give Kate a birthday present, but you weren't here. So I will give you the same birthday present that I gave to Kate. And we'll put this up. This is probably one of Kate's most favorite things. So here's a happy birthday. Now, if only it said Mr. Governor, it would be better, but here we go. Here's your birthday present. I don't know if you're going to enjoy this or not.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
So I will tell you that I appreciate the sentiment. I will also tell you that there is a tradition that I got introduced to when I was in high school. There's a thing called the Barbarian's birthday.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this?
No, I've never heard of that.
So the version that I heard, and Kate, happy birthday. The version that I heard goes like this. Happy birthday. Oh, I'm being waved off. I can answer whatever I want to on the debate stage, but I was just waved off for the Barbarian's birthday. But go look that up on YouTube. The Barbarian's birthday song.
She saved you.
She's like, no, don't do that.
Don't do that. Well, we will definitely look it up. And so for everyone else, and you know what this will do? This will be a great thing, because for everybody that's watching this live, you will have seen that. For everybody that will watch this in later, they will never see this because we'll just cut it out.
And one other thing that I want to make sure
that
we before, since I'm not going to be able to do that, I do want to leave you with this one thing.
Yes.
When you think about Indiana government,
Yes,
if
sir.
you're familiar at all with Monty Python and the Holy Grail,
Yes.
please remember, help, help, I'm being repressed.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mr. Rainwater. We appreciate it. Go have a good rest of your evening with your wife. Take care of yourself.
I'm going to go get dressed better. I
Alrighty.
apologize for dressing down this evening.
No problem. We will watch you tomorrow and go kick some ass.
All right, sir. Talk
All
to
right.
you later.
Thank you. Yep. Bye. Oh, God. Always a good time with Donald Rainwater, a friend and candidate, just a really nice, good, down-to-earth man. And I've always enjoyed talking with him, bringing him to you guys. And the one thing that you can say is, politics can be like really dry and boring and just kind of a stick in the mud and kind of just blah. Or you can realize that we're just all people and it's like down to earth and he's just a normal, regular person. And that's what we need more of. I just couldn't imagine sitting around and having a normal conversation with Mike Braun. I just don't believe that would happen. So think about that when you guys go to vote, and think about who we're putting in office. Think about the people that you guys are selecting to run the government and serve for us. So I tell you, Rainwater is definitely the person I would put in place over lots and lots and lots of other people. So, all right, we will be back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for episode 299. We will do another special broadcast tomorrow at 6 p.m. So a special broadcast at 6 p.m. We will live stream the debate, and I cannot wait to see Rainwater kick ass tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. So we will be live streaming that tomorrow here on our channel. If you want to come watch it here with us and chat and talk, that would be fantastic. I'm not here live. We just watch it and we're in the live chat talking. So you can come do that. And then that will end at 7 p.m. And then we'll take a 2-hour break. And then at 9 p.m. we will come back with episode 299. So we will see you guys here tomorrow. What is tomorrow at 10? Tomorrow at 10 is the public test. Yes, I will try to be there. I should be able to be there. I don't have anything going on first thing in the morning, so I should be able to be there. Send me a text in the morning just to make sure that you remind me. Send me a text about 8:30 or 9 o'clock if you can. If you can text me about 8:30 or 9 just to make sure that it's like, oh, yeah, that's going on, that would be good. So, yeah, I will be there. That'll be fantastic. All right, you guys, take care. God bless each and every one of you. Thanks to everybody that donated. And for the people that just can't donate or haven't been able to currently or right now, I appreciate you just being here. Help spread the word, share the show. There are ways that you can help even if you can't donate, and I completely understand it. Share the link, get the word out there, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your parents, tell your friends. Make sure people are aware of Rainwater. Make sure people are aware that they need to get registered if they're not registered. Make sure people are aware that early voting starts on Tuesday, and make sure people know the name Donald Rainwater. Because at the end of the day, an election isn't and shouldn't be based around money or Republican or Democrat. An election is based on who gets more votes than their opponent. And, there's no reason why it couldn't be Don. That's what I've got to say. All right, you guys have a good night. God bless. Take care. Peace. Oh, we'll do that again. Peace.